And I want to make the students behind me proud. I want for them to realize that they can dream and go after things that they thought that they couldn't
I wouldn't have
accomplish.
been 54 years a law teacher, except that I had gone to law school right there.
It really is a completely different look of the classroom and the kinds of experiences that people bring. And that, that's been really, I think, transformative.
Classes that we teach now are at the cutting edge of any kind of legal topic that you can name.
Hello, I'm Leonard Baines, 9th Dean of the University of Houston Law Center. The University of Houston Law Center celebrates its 75th year anniversary and marks 75 years of educating legal minds in 2022. It will also enter a bold new chapter in August 2022 with the opening of what will be its fourth home, the John M. O'Quinn Law Building. This beautiful, striking icon reflects the Law Center's prominence and dramatic progress from its very humble beginnings. The Law Center started life as a small and simple converted World War II wood barracks on the north side of the UH campus. The very first dean in 1947 was A.A. White, a respected Dallas attorney, and the school's first graduating class in 1950 was a tiny group of 28 white men. All of them passed the bar exam the first time. By the late 1960s, class sizes nearly tripled from 50 to 150 students. The goal was to build a new facility. At the time, President Lyndon B. Johnson had passed the Higher Education Facilities Act, which gave building funds to colleges, but not to law schools. The school's dean, John Nibel, traveled to Washington, D.C. to lobby for law schools to be covered by the act, but was unsuccessful. When he returned to Houston, he called Jack Valenti, a Houstonian who happened to be serving as special assistant in the Johnson administration.
So I picked the phone up and called Jack and told him the story. And he said, in that clip fast way, he says, "I'll take care of it, Dean." The next day, literally the next day, I got a phone call from the Office of Education, and they said they would be willing to consider our application.
Groundbreaking began on the school's third and current facility in 1969. It was renamed the Bates College of Law after Colonel William B. Bates, an attorney who served on the University of Houston's Board of Regents and the law school's founding committee. A booming legal market and a new facility ushered in a different time for the then Bates College of Law in the 1970s. By the mid-1970s, classes swelled again from about 150 students to 300. The period also represented a historic shift for the law school in terms of diversity. James M. Lamont, the school's first African-American student, graduated in 1970. The student body was transformed by the end of the decade in 1979, with the graduating class being nearly 40% women. 1982 saw the law school's name change to the University of Houston Law Center, and one of the law buildings was renamed the Bates Law Building. The change was intended to reflect the broader mission of the school, keeping the core identity of training lawyers, but specializing in fields like international, health, environmental, energy, and intellectual property law. Dean Nancy B. Rappaport would be named the first woman to serve as dean in the Law Center's history in the year 2000. She was at the helm of the successful but arduous recovery from Tropical Storm Allison in 2001. The storm flooded substantial portions of the building and left the O'Quinn Law Library under 12 feet of water, destroying hundreds of thousands of volumes. Professor Sandra Guerra Thompson recalled how challenging it was to help students prepare for the bar exam.
Certifying the students for the bar required going into the law center and getting into the files. And our staff was told that they were not to enter that building because there were mold concerns. So what did they do? They could have just left the students hanging, but instead they put on waders and brought flashlights, and they went in there and they got every student certified for the bar against the dean's orders.
I was announced as the 9th dean in April of 2014 and made Law Center history as the first dean of African descent. The Law Center remains ranked in the top tier of U.S. law schools and has 2 specialty programs consistently ranked in the top 10, 4 in the top 20, and 8 in the top 50 nationally, according to U.S. News. During my deanship, the Law Center's entering class has the highest median GPA since the Law Center's inception, and it has the highest median LSAT in more than a decade, while at the same time having one of the most racially and ethnically diverse student bodies, with a majority being women. Since 2016, 5 UH Center graduates have scored in the top 3 on the Texas bar exam. I created the position of Assistant Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and a faculty committee with that same charge. For 6 straight years under my leadership, the Law Center has received the Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award. It's a national honor recognizing U.S. colleges and universities that demonstrate an outstanding commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we were the only law school to be named a diversity champion in 2021. I also relaunched the UH Law Center's Pre-Law Pipeline program to encourage more students from underrepresented backgrounds to pursue legal careers. Those students have seen on average an LSAT score increase of up to 12 points. Lastly, my deanship also delivered on a decades-long goal for the Law Center community for a new state-of-the-art facility. Thanks to many, including one of the Law Center's most ardent and successful alumni, John M. O'Quinn, a 1967 graduate. O'Quinn passed away in 2009, but the foundation bearing his name would help the Law Center cross a meaningful finish line. As the Law Center turns 75 and enters a new facility, I believe that while the school has accomplished so much and made such great progress, some things haven't changed. What law schools do, what education does, it provides this powerful mechanism for social advancement, social mobility. But you also want to make sure that people are trained and skilled as the law school graduates of our past, as we look to the future and we fuel the future.